They say the desire to create, to build, to improve is etched into our very soul. Today, I want to share a few insights, not from a battlefield, but from the artisan's workshop, the sculptor's studio, the writer's desk, places where vision takes form. These lessons, learned through the patient act of creation, apply to anyone, anywhere, who dreams of making a mark, of forging a better tomorrow. It doesn't matter your background, your current tools, or the material you have to work with. The challenges we face in shaping our lives and our world are universal, and the principles to master them are timeless. So, here are 10 sparks from the forge of experience, insights that I hope will guide you as you craft your own legacy. Every morning, before the master artisan even touches their chosen material, they inspect and prepare their tools. A dull chisel, a frayed brush, an untuned instrument, these hinder even the grandest vision. This simple, almost ritualistic act is the first commitment of the day. It seemed almost too basic when I first learned it. We want to dive into the grand project, the masterpiece, but the wisdom is clear. If you prepare your mind, your skills, your focus each morning, you've laid the groundwork for quality. Accomplishing this first act of preparation gives you a quiet confidence. It reminds you that excellence is built on small, consistent efforts. And if the day's work proves frustrating, you'll know your foundation was sound. So, if you want to craft a better world, begin by sharpening your tools. In the old guilds, apprentices learned by watching, by doing, and by the guiding hand of a master. No great artisan becomes so in isolation. Imagine a solitary boat builder trying to construct a ship to cross an ocean, with no one to show them how to true the keel or set the mast. To bring any significant vision to life, you need the wisdom of those who've walked the path, the collaboration of peers, and the fresh eyes of apprentices. You cannot sculpt a mountain alone. It takes a community of effort, shared knowledge, and the willingness to both teach and learn. If you want to craft a better world, find those who can guide your hand and lend your strength to others. I once saw an exhibition comparing the early works of masters to their later masterpieces. The early pieces were often rough, technically imperfect, yet they blazed with a raw, undeniable passion. Sometimes we get so focused on achieving a flawless finish that we stifle the very heart of our creation. The most innovative workshops weren't always the tidiest, nor were their creators the most conventional. They were filled with people from all walks of life, different skills, different dreams, united by a burning desire to make something new. What truly mattered was the fire in their belly, the commitment in their spirit, not the smoothness of their initial attempts. So, if you want to craft a better world, measure a person by the depth of their passion, not the perfection of their current polish. Several times a week in any creative endeavor, there's the critique. You bring forth your work, your offering, your solution, and no matter how much effort, how much love you poured into it, the master or the client would find flaws, areas for improvement. For failing to meet the standard, you didn't run into the surf, but you might have felt like your work was metaphorically torn apart and tossed aside. Many aspirants couldn't handle it. They couldn't accept that their best effort wasn't yet it. They didn't understand. You were never going to achieve perfection on the first try. The process demanded iteration, resilience. Sometimes, no matter your dedication, your initial creation is just a stepping stone. That's the nature of building something worthwhile. If you want to craft a better world, get comfortable with imperfect first drafts and keep refining. Every artisan knows the heartbreak of a piece that cracks in the kiln, a sculpture that crumbles, a manuscript that's rejected. These are the shattered pieces of the creative journey. Each failure, each setback, was an invitation to a masterclass in what not to do or how to do it better. These unplanned lessons demanded more effort, more analysis, more humility. No one wanted their work to shatter. It meant you hadn't understood the material, the process, or the stresses involved. It meant more work. But an interesting thing happened to those who diligently examined their broken pieces. Over time, those artisans who faced repeated failures, but learned from each, developed a deeper understanding, a more profound skill. The pain of the shattered pieces built resilience and true mastery. Life is full of shattered pieces. You will miscalculate. You will see efforts crumble. But if you want to craft a better world, don't be afraid to pick up your shattered pieces and learn from them. I remember an old weaver who, for years, had followed the traditional patterns. Her work was beautiful, flawless, but predictable. One day, facing a shortage of a usual thread, she impulsively introduced a vibrant, unconventional color into her loom. It was risky. It broke from generations of tradition. It could have been a disaster, a jarring mess. But instead, that unexpected thread illuminated the entire pattern, bringing it to life in a way no one had imagined. It transformed her work and inspired a new style. If you want to craft a better world, sometimes you have to dare to mix unexpected colors, to try the unconventional solution. In the world of creation, there are always critics. Some are external, their voices loud and dismissive. But the most persistent critic often resides within. It's that voice that whispers doubt when you face a blank canvas, a complex problem, or a daunting challenge. You're not good enough. This will never work. You're taught that if this inner critic begins to circle, to undermine your confidence, you must stand your ground. Do not retreat. Do not let fear paralyze you. And if that critic, hungry for your feng qi, lunges with its negativity, summon all your conviction and challenge its assumptions. Defend your vision. There are many critics in the world, internal and external. If you hope to create anything of value, you will have to confront them. So, if you want to craft a better world, don't back down from the critics, especially the one in your own head. Every significant project has its midnight hour. It's that point where you're deep in the work, the initial enthusiasm has faded, the path ahead is unclear, and problems seem to multiply. It's like a sculptor working late into the night, the form of the statue lost in shadow, the cold of the stones seeping into their bones. Doubt is a heavy cloak. To succeed, you must find the core of your vision, the essential line, even when everything around you is dark and confusing. This is the moment your true artistry is tested. This is where you must be calm, focused, and draw upon all your skill, your experience, and your deepest resolve. If you want to craft a better world, you must be your most resourceful and resilient self in the deepest shadow. I once visited a workshop where dozens of artisans were struggling with a particularly challenging commission. Morale was low, the deadline loomed, and the air was thick with frustration and silence. Then, one apprentice, while sanding a rough piece of wood, began to hum a simple, almost forgotten folk tune. It was soft, barely audible, but another picked it up, then another. Soon a quiet chorus filled the workshop. The overseer grumbled about the distraction, but the rhythm of the work seemed to find the rhythm of the song. The tension eased, the wood felt smoother, the tools lighter, the deadline less daunting. If I've learned anything, it's the power of one authentic voice to shift the atmosphere, one person sharing their light, their hope, their unique perspective. So, if you want to craft a better world, let your unique voice resonate, especially when the work is hard and spirits are low. Finally, in every artisan's journey, there's the temptation to abandon the work. Not a bell to ring, but a project set aside, a dream deferred, a half-finished canvas turned to the wall. To walk away means the struggle ends. No more wrestling with difficult material, no more facing criticism, no more fear of failure. All you have to do is stop. But if you want to craft a better world, if you truly want to bring your vision to life, never, ever abandon your masterpiece. It will not be easy. Start each day with preparation. Find allies and mentors. Value passion. Embrace imperfection. Learn from every setback. Dare to innovate. Confront your critics. Shine in the darkness. Let your voice be heard, and never, ever give up. If you do these things, the legacy you build, the improvements you forge, will inspire generations to come. And the work you started here will indeed have crafted a world of difference.